Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring Labyrinths and Secret Chambers for Kult Divinity Lost. If you haven't seen part 1 or my other Kult reviews, please check out the playlist in the description below. And take note that you are listening to one of the tracks of the official Kult Divinity Lost original soundtrack. You will also find my review of the soundtrack and the name of the track in the description. This time we are going to talk about the lore, the soul of a location. The soul of a location manifests as a certain otherworldly resonance that permeates everything in that place. It may be the metaphysical reverberations of something that previously happened there, or the growing influence of a higher power seeping into our reality. A location's soul may or may not be in line with what its physical nature or evident purpose would obviously suggest, allowing for a wide variety of combinations of locality and themes when describing different places. The game master is encouraged to experiment with combining what a location appears as in Elysium with aspects from beyond the veil that complement, contrast, or subvert that. Keeping these influences in mind can tailor your moves to fit the scene of your story. This way, you can create uniquely interesting and scary experiences for the players. Let me give you some examples. Under the influence of the Archons, we have the influence of Kether. The area feels almost ritualistically mired in hierarchies and traditions. Guests who don't know its secrets are often confused by the place's rigid proceedings. Things are slow-moving here, as everything must be done in the correct order, and nobody decides anything without explicit consent from their immediate supervisor or boss. Here there could be events such as, you hear a commanding voice echoing through the halls, "Bring me Mr. Phelps, now!" All the employees around you flinch, then look around themselves, scanning their surroundings for the wanted man. Or maybe you suddenly see everything so clearly, the hierarchy, the paths needed to climb these power structures, the worker, the manager, the boss, the VP, the chairman, the board, the shareholder. We also have the influence of Hesed. You feel at home. The calm atmosphere is soothing. You want to belong, and is that a friendly smile? It has been so long since you saw one. Things seem oddly familiar. A bookshelf looks exactly like the one from your childhood. The pattern on the floor gives you warm memories of an old, safe place. Several things could happen here. Perhaps you never want to leave this place. It is your only safe refuge. The darkness cannot reach you here. You panic at the thought of being dragged away from it. Or maybe the room in front of you doesn't fit in with the rest of this place, and it shouldn't be in this building at all. It looks just like your old room. What the hell? Is that your poster? There is also the influence of Yesod. Material symbols of status and privilege rule here. Everything and everyone is a part of it, and if you got it, you flaunt it. If you lack it, you envy and despise the ones who have it. Comments on expensive rarities are used to open conversations. Discreet offensive remarks about other classes continue to drive the communication forward. Riches are either priceless or not desirable at all, or they may even be felt a nuisance but are still always the focus. A few things could happen here. Maybe on one of the desks, there is a small pedestal with some kind of necklace in a box. No glass, no alarm protecting it. Maybe deep down in the dirty sewers and waterlogged caverns, you stumble upon a place that is truly breathtaking. Luxury beyond recognition, opulence beyond measurement. Who has been amassing all these treasures down here? Let's talk about some of the examples concerning the influence of the Death Angels, such as the influence of Golab. Cruel and vile, this place is a small hell of its own. Vicious and cruel thoughts intrude upon your mind, until deep inside you start to hope to see others suffering, either emotionally or physically. Someone always breaks down under the pressure, and when that happens, the vultures and hyenas emerge to join in on the feast. Violence and sadism permeate this place, and it gives off an eat-or-be-eaten atmosphere. Some of the features here include: you are suddenly airborne, and then you crash headfirst into the floor. Laughing and running footsteps are heard around you. Well, what have we got here? A pretty one, eh? Perhaps looking around closer, you see the walls and floor are dirty all over. Reddish-brown spatters and stains are everywhere, and then you sense the metallic scent somewhere between copper and iron. So heavy in the air you can taste it on your tongue. This whole room is covered in blood. There is also the influence of Hareb setup. Yelling, hostilities, and conflicts are ever present here. You can feel anger and hatred suffuse your very soul. Everything is somebody's fault, and certainly nobody is doing anything about it either. Hostile debates first turn into screaming matches, then into outraged actions. The walls and furniture carry many scars of past escalations, as do the location's occupants themselves. Perhaps suddenly a woman runs screaming into the hall where you are. She stumbles and falls onto her back and stares in panic at the doorway she came from. Perhaps images of gore and death are flashing past as a hasty mirage, tainting the merchandise, the other customers, everything in an aura of violence, blood, and wounds. A threatening set of teeth grins intimidatingly at you. Then you are back in the real world. $5.99, sir. Will that be all? We also have the influence of Togarini. Regardless of this place's actual purpose, it also exhibits features that lend it an aura like a macabre and transgressive art gallery, morbidly decorated crypt, or a derelict crack house. Some single-minded obsession has shaped the location, subordinating all peripheral concerns to its dominating singular interest. Visitors not initially repelled by the disgusting ambience are eventually seduced by the necrotic temptations on display. Maybe walking down the hospital's sterile corridor, you notice a painting of a man being flayed by a legion of doctors with sharp spoons. You idly wonder how this can even be allowed here, when you realize you don't see the others anymore. How long did you just spend looking at this? Perhaps the invisible doves are back now, fluttering all around you. The closer you have gotten to the object of your obsession, the more often they have accompanied you on your way. But this time it's different. There's something else, something behind them, beyond them. An ancient mind, watching your every step. You suddenly feel like you are being dissected by an unseen gaze. Something is observing, listening, analyzing your behavior, and weighing its options. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part I am going to talk about the location lists, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this set of lore, maps, and plans. I think that anyone who studies Kabbalah is going to be quite pleased with the way that these souls are handled, depending on the locations. These scenario sites will truly feel like characters on their own, but also they will feel as direct gateways between our world and asphyxiatingly dark or blindingly bright places. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.